Imagine you had a roommate. Not a friend, just someone you had to live with because rent's high and you're not rich. They're an okay roommate most of the time. They keep to themselves and sometimes they bring home treats. But there's one thing about them that gets on your nerves. They keep getting poop and putting it in the fridge. Every time you open the fridge, you have to reach around it. You don't like looking at it or smelling it or getting it on your hands or the food in the fridge. So you go to your roommate and say, "Hey, please stop putting poop in the fridge. It really bothers me." Now, imagine they look you in the eye and say, "No, I won't. Every time you look at it, or touch it, or smell it, it generates revenue for me." If it wasn't clear, the fridge and the yummy treats inside are the internet, and the poop is advertisements, AI-generated summaries, and otherwise low-quality content. Your roommate represents the companies and individuals creating the content that keeps crowding your fridge. Unfortunately, unlike a real roommate, when this one bothers you, you can't just fart on his pillow while he's away. But that doesn't mean you're powerless to do anything about the situation. In fact, making sure your online fridge is only stocked with the content and search results you actually care about is considerably easier than stopping a real-life roommate from stocking it with dumb shit you don't need or want, or letting food go bad in it. I want to show you a number of the tools you can use to filter out all the noise, advertisements, and traps that are waiting for you in your search results and For You pages. But before I do that, I want to highlight a key point. On the internet, time is money and interaction is a reward. Your engagement is extremely valuable, more valuable than you may realize. So when you're consuming content online, if it doesn't make you feel good or give you some sort of value, don't pay them another second of your time. Make them not exist to you. This first section focuses on browser extensions that act as content filters with very little configuration. Just download them, tweak a setting or two, and be done with it. uBlock Origin is very common, and for good reason. It's probably the easiest starting point. In fact, you may already have it. uBlock is an open source project that is alive and very well being actively maintained by over 100 collaborators, and will absolutely continue to be supported, much to the chagrin of Google. Alright, as of the release of this video, uBlock has once again been removed from the Chrome Web Store. This has happened before, and I suspect it's likely to return, but in the meantime, you can still install uBlock Lite. It's lacking some of the more advanced filters, but it's still a very effective ad blocker. Alternatively, you can switch to a browser that still supports Origin, like Firefox, or just wait till it comes back. In the case that you already have it installed and it's been disabled, you can just enable it again. Eat shit, Google. uBlock is extremely easy to use, and as soon as it's added, you'll notice that ads seem to just disappear from most of the web pages you visit. But this can be taken even further with custom settings and filters that allow it to modify and remove elements of specific pages. uBlock Origin is more than an ad blocker. It's a Swiss Army knife. It acts as a targeted content remover. This helps to increase the visibility of the content you actually care about, in addition to increasing the loading speed of pages with lots of unnecessary scripts and visual elements. I use it to shut up the obnoxious AI summaries that every search engine includes now. It also helps me with my short-form content addiction by blocking the Short Videos tab from my Google search results. If you want to do this too, I'll add the filter settings I use on screen. I promise I'm not trying to make this one of those self-help videos saying like, "Ooh, TikTok's so bad, delete it now." I kinda hate that you can't opt out of it. And every single platform has it now. Like, even LinkedIn has shorts now. Not that LinkedIn was known for having particularly high quality content beforehand, but who the fuck is that even for? Anyway, I find it pretty addictive, especially YouTube Shorts, and I think you should be allowed to opt out of short form content if you want to. If you find yourself doom scrolling YouTube Shorts against your better judgment, try remove YouTube Shorts. If you're like me, you're tired of your search results being clogged with AI images. I don't want to get into the debate of whether AI is theft or an impressive technical leap. I see its merits and use ChatGPT sometimes, but I also see the very real issue of artist consent and compensation. But all of that aside, holy fuck, if I look up a cute puppy, I want a real cute puppy. Not some evil goon's SEO optimized spam site that spews a billion AI generated images of fake puppies in the hopes that you click and generate them a millionth of a cent in ad revenue. The whole appeal of AI content is that if I want it, I can go make it. Blacklist is an add-on that gives you the option to send such ungainly websites to the Shadow Realm. Every time you see a search result that you're confident you never want to see again, you can simply click and blacklist it. This is good, but still requires a lot of manual intervention. What I would recommend doing is visiting their GitHub. That's right, more open source, let's go. And finding some of the existing rule sets that you can subscribe to. Blocking known malicious sites is another strong use case. You can subscribe to existing blacklists that other people or teams manage, and the extension will auto-update to remove all of those. Here are the lists I use. Together at the time of recording, they block 419,469 websites all up. You've weakened your roommate's power. The poop in the fridge has been abated, but now, every time you go to your room to jerk off, he barges in and forces you to sign a consent form that says he's allowed to collect metrics like duration, stroke frequency, and shaft length, and then sell this information to third parties. Also, this will happen every time until you say yes. Consent-o-matic automatically answers these for you so you don't have to see them every time you visit a website. You set your preferences once, and it deals with all the clutter for you. No more clicking through annoying prompts and interrupting your browsing. Shout out to the privacy researchers at Aarhus University in Denmark who created this one. You've gone ahead and installed the mentioned software. In your case, the poop in your fridge is marginally less profitable for your roommate. Don't worry, it turns out he's also the landlord and he's still stocking fridges all over your neighborhood with it, and others likely won't be as willing to do something about it. But there's still a lot of content being served to you on a regular basis that is a waste of your time, and will attempt to consume as much of it as it possibly can. We have limited cognitive bandwidth, and with the rise of AI, there is now infinite content. Even prior to this, there was far too much information to sort through. You can spend as long as you want searching through the presented options, but this wastes your time, and unfiltered, it increases the odds of you settling on low quality or irrelevant information. Without any sort of filtering applied, your inputs are simply the defaults desired by the platforms you frequent. These are drawn from content with the highest engagement, conditional on your signaled preferences. This is a dubious means of finding content, as engagement is seldom predicated upon quality or even accuracy. The most engaged with video or article is just as likely to be complete rage bait. Reading it will waste your time, and even worse, engaging with it, like informing the author of your disapproval in a strongly worded comment, not only gives them more of your time, but also makes the algorithm push that content to even more people, as it's clearly garnering attention. Rage bait is a digital cancer. Don't feed the trolls is among the oldest and wisest internet advice that we've all been told since we were little. This literally means don't reply to people trying to fuck with you, don't dislike their post, don't engage by explaining why they're wrong. Pretend they don't exist, like you're on the subway and someone just whipped their dick out. You don't tell that individual, hey, that behavior is socially unacceptable. You should feel shame for doing something so disgusting in public. No, you move away. Avoid looking at them and switch trains. Another example, blocking the enemy team's comms in Counter-Strike. Mute and block them when something is obviously designed to provoke a reaction. Throughout all of this, there may be a feeling of like, but sometimes it's good. Every 100 reels I see something really cool, and every 100 games of CS I have a great interaction with the enemy team. Your life is closer to your average experience, not the outliers. This is the same mindset that keeps people spinning slot machines and scratching lottery tickets. If 99% of your interactions with shorts or communications with the possibility of rage bait are negative, then even if 1 in 100 is a gem, the average is still garbage. Stop leaving your roommate sticky notes stating your disapproval about the poop in the fridge. Simply right-click on him and convert him to an unperson. Don't give them more of your time. Make them not exist to you. Content platforms love engagement, even negative engagement. Don't engage, don't comment, don't feed the algorithm, just remove it and move on. Blacklist does this, but there are more specific tools that can be applied in other areas. YouTube has a great feature that lets you tap the kebab menu and select either do not show this video or do not show this channel. I use this all the time to filter dumb shit out of my recommendations, but you can take this even further. Doing it this way is good, but you can only ask YouTube not to recommend a channel to you once they've already done it, either on your homepage or in your video suggestions. Additionally, this won't prevent it from showing up in your search results. Also, it takes 2 clicks when I want it to take 1. What I've begun using instead is an extension called Channel Blocker that adds a little X next to every channel's name. If you click this X, the owner of the channel will be euthanized, and you'll never hear from them again, no matter how hard you try to find them, unless you go into the add-on settings and unblock them. This in and of itself is a surprisingly good feeling. It's far easier and about as liberating to simply delete some channel from existence as it is to leave an angry comment. This allows you to narrow your focus on YouTube to only the things you want to see, and you can do a much better job of this than the algorithm, since the algorithm specifically wants you to remain on the site for as long as possible. It will constantly recommend you highly performing videos, even if the connection to your interest is minimal at best. I took this and ran with it. I've created entire separate channels for specific interests, and anytime I'm browsing one, I actively remove anything outside the focus of that channel. This has been extremely helpful in keeping me on task when I'm trying to focus on something and using YouTube as a resource. And this concept isn't limited to your YouTube search results. General browsing search engines keep a profile on you as well, and will add to that profile over time. This is subject to the same issues as YouTube's recommendations, though to a lesser degree. This can be handled in a similar fashion. And you can even create separate profiles with separate extensions and block lists added. Though this is getting beyond the scope of this video. Just keep in mind that compartmentalization can be an effective strategy for curating your online interactions. I'd like to add a note though. One potential issue with search algorithms at large is the possibility of accidentally creating echo chambers. Say you lean left politically and you tend to interact with left-leaning content, Google will notice this and inadvertently serve you more left-leaning content even if that's not specifically what you're looking for. And you can potentially ameliorate this issue to some degree by creating different profiles, but again, this is out of the scope and difficult to solve without larger changes like switching browsers. What's more important, and is within the scope of this video, is that I want to suggest against being overly aggressive with the blacklists and channel removals. I'm absolutely going to get rid of Turning Point USA and InfoWars, but I'm not going to remove channels like Counter Arguments or the Hoover Institution. Just be careful not to create an echo chamber. Filter bad actors not challenging ideas. If you have any other methods you want to share with others, please leave them in the comments below. I think there needs to be more content on this on the internet that isn't quasi-schizo. I'm not super worried about having a perfectly clean and untraceable digital footprint. I don't want to download some random Linux distro that's super secure and private that deletes all of my data every time I turn it off and on again. I don't need to hide from the government, I don't need to hide from my fucking mom, I just want to hide from advertisers and see less dumb shit. People these days talk about how we're living through man-made horrors beyond our comprehension, but honestly, this one's very comprehensible. And more than that, it's fixable. You're not powerless against algorithmic manipulation by our digital poop-slinging overlords. You can take control of your digital spaces. The solutions are here, just use them. This in and of itself, holy fuck, that's really hard to say.